Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Julie. I am a mom to 5 and I homeschool, and I've gotten quite a few questions here because I often mention doing Bible time as part of our homeschool day, and I've gotten lots of questions saying, what do you use for Bible curriculum? And I haven't really talked a lot about it, and that is just because I don't use a specific Bible curriculum. I kind of take this and that and put it together, and that is what we do for Bible time every day. And so today I wanted to get into that a bit more and just show you everything that I use, everything that we are taking things from in order to have a Bible time as part of our homeschool. So I'm going to turn this around and show you what I've got. I have this Keys for Kids devotional. Yes, Wesley ripped the cover off of it, but I have a few of these, and I don't quite know how it works, but I know that I went to Keys for Kids website. My parents used to use this with us when we were kids, these Keys for Kids devotionals. But anyway, I went on to Keys for Kids website, and I put my address in, and I think I put it in to get like a free sample, and they ended up giving me like 6 copies of this. So we've been working through all these devotionals, and it's been really nice to have all these different booklets. So anyway, this is the one we're working through right now. We probably have like 2 devotions left, I think. But each day there is a devotional. It has a Bible reference here to look at. So I will give my oldest 2 kids turns each day looking up the Bible reference and reading to us. And so they read the Bible verse, and then I read this devotional for them. And it's just a really cute little story most days, and then kind of a practical example of how you can use that in your life. And so each day to start off our Bible time, this is what we do first. We've been working through this book for quite some time. It's good. It's written by these 3 siblings, all about making brothers and sisters best friends. We have not been going through it as fast as I want to. My kids enjoy it, but some days I'm like, okay, it's taken us long enough to do this, to do our other stuff. Let's get right into our table work, and we haven't been reading through this as fast as I want to, but I do want to get reading this book more. And so this book is written, like I said, by 2 sisters and a brother, and talking about how they work on getting along. As I'm saying this, I'm like, why do I not read this more? Because my kids need to get along. This sounds like how my kids talk. Anyways, so we're not doing that as much as I would like to, but like I said, I do want to get more into it. And then this book we're slowly working through as well, and it's a Treasury of Bible promises. And so basically it has a whole bunch of promises, and so each one starts, so there's one of the promises, God saves you, and I will just read like this one day, and then the next day I'll go ahead and we'll read these verses. We'll remember what is God's promise, and then the next day we might go on and do this, and basically each week we're doing a promise. And so then the next week we'll go ahead and learn. This is a really long one. Okay, we'll go on to the next promise, which is God forgives you. So I just kind of divided into 4 days, reading each story on the promise, but that's what we're currently working on each day. Each week is a new promise that God has given us. And then this, we kind of started it. We've actually taken a break because I decided that when we're done this Keys for Kids devotionals, we're not going to start a new one, and we're going to do this instead. But I really love the idea of this book. So this is written by Clay Clarkson. I don't see his name on here. Clay Clarkson, which is Sally Clarkson's husband. And I love the 24 family ways. So basically it has the whole list here of the 24 family ways. So they have 4 that are concerning authorities, concerning relationships, concerning possessions. Just really good rules to just have memorized. And so we did start working on memorizing these, and then we kind of stopped because it was just, I felt like it was too much for our Bible time. So, but basically how it's going to work when we get back into it, we learn a family way, and then they have it set out really nicely for, so the first family way is we love and obey our Lord Jesus Christ with wholehearted devotion. And then we have some questions and answers, some Bible verses to talk about. We just discuss it, and then it has a prayer at the end that you can pray. And so it is set out really well to make it work well on a weekly schedule. And then of course you go on to your next family way. And so we started this and then ended up stopping. But like I said, when we're done that book, so honestly, probably next week, we'll be starting on going through this again. And I'm really looking forward to getting back into that. Now, this is my homeschool planner. And in here, I have what we do for the rest of Bible time. So, you know, as you saw, like right now we're using these 3 books. I do a little bit of reading here, a little bit of reading here, very short reading here, and then I get into our notebook here. So I have a whole list of memory verses. As you can see, I wrote these out last school year, but every day we go over. So we'll go over a passage until we know it, like a passage like this that has 5 verses, you know, that would take us, I mean, it probably takes us at least a week to do 1 verse. So these are ones that we've already done. That's what the check marks beside them are for. Actually, we finished that one as well. We did all of Luke 2. And so now we're on to learning our next one here. And so we're just working our way through learning Bible passages. And we'll just go over a certain passage over and over until we know it. Then I have a list of hymns. So after our reading time, our memory verses time, we sing a hymn. And so this list, again, I wrote out last year, and so we've actually already done all these hymns. We've done all the way through here, and now we're working on the love of God. And this number is just the number that it is in our hymn book. And so when we do a hymn, we will start a hymn on a Monday. We will sing that hymn every day, every morning during Bible time, and every night at bedtime. So by the end of a week, they know the words of the hymn. I should say it's just the first verse and chorus of a hymn, but they will know that hymn very well. And then the next week we'll work on a new one. And then any of these hymns, when they come up at church, when we sing them at church, my kids can sing out at least that 1 verse in the chorus every time the chorus comes back, because they have learned it at home. And so I love hearing them sing out at church because of what we learned at home. Then for the rest of Bible time, really the last thing we'll do before prayer is we'll work on memorizing something. So Old Testament. So this is what we'll do. I'll just show you first. So I have the whole Old Testament written down, all the Old Testament books. I have all the New Testament books written out. I have the days of creation written out, and I have the 10 commandments written out, and that is it. And so those things I want to make sure that we go through and memorize every single year. For one, the older kids forget, but then as the younger kids come up and get older too, I want to make sure they know it. So this year we already did all the Old Testament books, and even my 2 youngest know it really well. And we're currently working on the New Testament books, but we've been working on them for a while, and I think that they all know it now as well. And so the next thing we'll do is work on the days of creation and talk over those. And so those are things that I want them at the end of the school year to have all memorized. And so then after we go through, you know, one thing at a time, one thing until it's memorized, then we'll go on to the next. I hope I'm explaining this well. Anyway, and then after that, we will say a prayer. The kids take turns saying prayer each day. And then we go ahead and get into the rest of our table work. But that as a whole probably only takes us probably 20 minutes, depending if I read this book. If I read this book, it'll probably take us a little bit longer. Anyway, so that's kind of how our Bible time is looking currently. Another couple things I really want to add into our Bible time. I actually don't want to add them right now. I think our Bible time is full enough, but maybe when we're done the Bible Promises book or something. A couple more things I do want to add is a hymn study where we learn about the writer of the hymn, learn the story behind the hymn, as well as missionary stories. So as soon as one of these things I'm currently doing is done and I have room to do something else, I will definitely be adding either hymn stories or missionary stories. So that's kind of how I put together our Bible time. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and let me know what you do for Bible time. I keep thinking I want to get an actual curriculum because I do want to make sure that they're getting a thorough, you know, Bible education. But for now, this is really working for us and we all enjoy it. So thanks for watching. Please subscribe to my channel if you want to see more homeschool videos. I do a lot of homeschool day in the life videos, curriculum videos. I just share a lot of homeschool stuff here on this channel. So subscribe if you want to see more, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye.